Baron, there are Elixni in the line of fire.
I don't recognize them. They could have come to me, but no. Choices have consequences. Show them.
As you wish.
Damn cryptoliths. I can hear them digging into the shore. I want that racket silenced.
Tell your fallen to keep their distance. Zivor Wrath will twist their ambitions against you.
Forced insubordination. The Hive never ceased to disgust me.
We all know the drill by now. As soon as they hit the ground, light them up.
You'd think they'd learn, but every Wrathborn seems as surprised as the last.
Even if forewarned, they would be powerless to stop their actions. Zivor Wrath compels them to madness. To death.
I used to think that these poor Elixni could be saved or redeemed. But now I'm not so sure. When I look in their eyes, I don't see fallen. All I see is the darkness of the Hive.
You cling to your belief in redemption for them, or for yourself?
It's a beautiful thing when profit and heroism coincide. Now, liberate these poor lost souls from Zivura's grip by any means necessary.
Of course, Baron. We'll power up our lure and work our way up the ranks to the High Celebrant.
Well, hurry up. Commerce never sleeps, and neither do the Hive. Get to work. My patience has run out. When I engaged you in this matter, I was promised a swift resolution. Yet, cryptoliths continue to sprout, and I hemorrhage soldiers daily.
We're making progress. We just need...
Quiet. Bring me the head of the High Celebrant, or I shall be forced to make other alliances.
Are you still hearing voices when you come near the cryptolith?
I can handle it. There's a difference between hearing and listening.
I'm concerned that the soul fire in the lure is amplifying the cryptolith's effect on you. I'll be glad when we destroy that thing for good.
If only we could uproot the cryptoliths and stop this madness.
They are burrowed deep into the crust. To remove them would split the shore apart.
Xivu Arath's influence spread so quickly after the pyramid swept through the system.
She is emboldened by the presence of the darkness.
Io, Mars, Mercury, Titan. I can't believe they're gone.
So many Elixni Wrathborn. Have the Cabal formed a resistance to the cryptolith?
Their size and strength make them prime candidates for other positions. Throne guards, beasts of conquest for knights to feed upon. There are fates worse than this.
I look forward to seeing the final Hive abomination scrubbed from my shore.
To think, these used to be your soldiers.
If they were weak enough to fall under the Hive's influence, then I'm better off without them.
Well executed.
We're improving. Soon we'll be able to predict their movements, just like you.
When Mercury vanished, the Infinite Forest did as well. And with it, my ability to interpret the flow of time. The future is beyond my sight.
Good work. Segura and I had our differences, but she deserves justice.
Revenge is a dangerous prey.
Is he dead? Cryptolith, unguarded? Bring me a peace crow.
What for? A Hive rock won't help you control him.
No. The Vanguard controls you. They just have a bigger rock.
I recognized that one. We'd crossed paths before.
An omen, maybe. Old friends. Made enemies. Something like that.
That reminds me of a saying I once heard. The bones of what we become act more powerfully than the flesh you leave behind.
Great job on the lure, Crow. Got a knack for this.
At least it's a skill I can put to a noble use.
Efficient. Merciless. Ruthless. I knew I hired the right person for the job.
We're doing this for the good of the system and for Osiris, not for you.
Of course. It's amazing how the Vanguard's self-interest always happens to coincide with...
How did the spider come by these lures?
I built them. Baron Spider has a repository of odds and ends.
And Hive Apocrypha, as I understand it. I would like access to this so-called repository.
Sleep in peace now. Your pain is over.
You show a great deal of compassion to the enemy.
These Elixni weren't so wicked before Xivu Arath drowned their minds in chaos. They were just... lost.
Sometimes death is the only route to redemption.
I hope that I can do more to help the Vanguard after the High Celebrant is defeated.
You're so eager to trade the yoke of the spider for that of the Vanguard. Don't mistake their good intentions for virtue. You'll find politics and self-interest everywhere, even in the tower. Your successes are due in no small part to your lures. Perhaps I could study them after your campaign ends.
Everyone knows you're an expert on the Vex, but I had no idea you were also so interested in the Hive.
My interest grew after interfacing with the Hive aboard Oryx's dreadnought. As they say, know thy enemy.
To slay your enemy in battle is one thing, but to turn Elixni into these creatures, it's cowardly.
Your compassion is curdling into anger. Good. That's a proper attitude to take toward the Hive.
At least this Wrathborn wasn't a Cabal gladiator. Or a Colossus. I would need a bigger rifle.
The Cabal are not so mobile. Fallen serve better for reconnaissance.
Even the Scions?
They are brought into Wizard's Courts to serve as psychic lodestones for ceremonial dives into the deep.
These cryptoliths are fascinating. They seem to be cybernetic in nature, like me, but they also have biological components.
The first of my scavenger crews to discover a cryptolith tried to dismantle it. They say it grew back by the next day.
What happened in the end?
The sonic artifacting around the cryptolith is getting stronger. I can almost make it out.
It's clear to me. A woman's voice. She keeps asking for something.
We should hurry. Long-term exposure to Xivu Arath's signal is starting to take its toll.
These poor Elixni. They're just empty shells filled with darkness. If that ever happens to me, I hope you'll put me out of my misery. That was too close for comfort. Maybe next time I should step in.
I know you want to help, but it's important to keep you out of sight.
You want to keep me all to yourself? I don't blame you.
We're closer to the High Celebrant than ever. One final push, and we can end this.
The end of Xivu Arath's cryptoliths, maybe. But the Vanguard still have the pyramids to deal with. Too bad we can't help. With us on board, how could they lose?
Your control of the light gets stronger every day.
I've been watching the Guardian work. Imagine how much more I could learn if we had access to the tower's resources. Any word on Io or Mars? Does the Vanguard have any idea where they went?
Not yet. Zavala has his hands full on Europa.
In the meantime, let's concentrate on the task in front of us. We're close to the High Celebrant. I know it.
One thing I'll say about these cryptoliths. They've tightened discipline in my ranks. Watching you ruthlessly destroy these Wrathborns has made defectors think twice.
We're here to strike back against the Hive, not to keep your house in order.
Whatever justification you use to shed blood is fine by me. Just get it done.
Set your lure at the cryptolith to draw the Wrathborn out.
If we're not quick, it'll retreat back to the Ascendant Plane, and we won't be able to follow.
The more powerful the lure, the more powerful the Wrathborn, and the closer we get to the High Celebrant. What draws so many armies to the city? Is something buried beneath all this beauty?
I don't know exactly, but the Taken seem to be at the heart of what went wrong here.
Then we will remove them.
Voracious. Welcome to try.
Does the curse build and fall? The Wrathborn seem to draw power from its motion.
You have a keen eye, young Awoken. The magic here is stitched deep and has a rhythm.
I wish we could just leave the Hive to tear at each other. It'd be so much easier to destroy once they've worn each other down.
Your patience will only strengthen Zivor Wrath's dominion.
Glint, what is the Shattered Throne? This Wrathborn traveled through it.
Good question. Maybe we...
There's a nexus point in the Ascended Plane, wrapped around a throne that was meant to anchor the city here. It serves other purposes now.
Wrathborn converging on your position.
You know what to do, Guardian.
Look at you letting go a bit. Learning to trust our friend?
Friend is a strong word. Time to rid the city of another monster.
Pace yourself, buddy. Celebrant isn't going anywhere.
All the more reason to push forward.
Warlock, how goes the campaign?
At pace with expectation. Though, had I my light, I could split the atoms of Zivu's treasonous worm from where I stand.
It's a hard thing to lose. I know a few who've tried to get it back. We should speak. Another Wrathborn in the dirt. Keep softening our opposition.
Do you plan an expansion into the Dreaming City? How can I best assist my Baron in executing it?
You'll know what you need to, when you need to. Don't be so eager to please. It's off-putting. How many is that now?
Enough to relieve pressure on my Baron's holdings.
For now. Do the Awoken command territory in the city?
I wouldn't characterize their presence as strong, but their soldiers are battle-hardened.
I'll take that into consideration. When you return, don't bother.
Osiris, they call you clairvoyant. Can you see if we win?
A rumor. My knowledge is gleaned from many lives in many times.
And countless battles.
Yes. A never-ending conflict, it seems.
I've heard the stories. Danger is a quick teacher.
Zivor Wrath's plan lacks subtlety. She moves in the open, and that is why she will fail.
I don't think she fears being seen.
There are other reasons to hide besides fear.
I take it things are progressing to my satisfaction.
Yes, my Baron. We've eliminated another of the Wrathborn.
Good. The sooner you return to the shore, the safer we'll all be. Hive aren't the only danger in the Dreaming City.
Something in the cryptolith. It noticed me. I feel...
The call of Xivu Arath. Crow, focus.
Yes. I'm here. It's gone now.
The call of the void can be seductive.
Don't worry, Warlock. I'm not easily smitten.
How does it feel to be a lightbearer?
Powerful. Imagine how much more good we could do if we ever got away from the shore.
Be patient. Now that you're immortal, you can afford to take the long view.
Patience isn't my strong suit. It's done. Feels like we're making progress.
We are. One step at a time.
With the light, I may live long enough to see this city fully restored. Curse broken. I'd like that.
Me too.
The cursed city has a quiet beauty to it.
It is the stillness of death.
Osiris tells me that you're working with a new light bearer,
Did he mention a name?
that I should meet them for myself.
They're on loan from Spider, so that may not be possible.
So I hear. My attention is required on Europa, but this discussion is not over.
We make a good team, Guardian. It's a shame we never met before, or I might not have died in the first place.
Then I never would have found you. All things happen for a reason.
You severed another of Ginsor Arath's stolen appendages.
That's a disturbing analogy.
More than a turn of phrase. To her, they are like fingers on a hand.
Channel is secure. It's just you and the Guardian.
There's a woman who's taken notice of me.
Now's not really the time for romance.
I've tried to lose her in the mists, but she's very skilled.
Wait. Does she have an eye patch?
You know her? Do you know her name?
I know she's someone you should avoid. A conversation for another time.
Do the cryptoliths sing to you still, New Light?
No. The fewer Wrathborn we leave standing, the fainter the voice. Still, I wish I could have made out what it was saying.
Channel is secure. It's just you and the Guardian.
I saved an awoken soldier from a Wrathborn roaming the city last night.
Did the soldier say anything to you?
He pointed to a scrap of cloth I found, marked by a burning ring. Called me Paladin.
Well, that's a good nickname. People used to call me cooked meat. Yes, very funny. Did you say anything to him?
Of course not. I gave him the cloth. I know better than to keep something familiar. Osiris's hunch was accurate. This Wrathborn had a tether leading back into the Ascendant Plane.
Warlocks. No offense, Guardian. Crow, are you still confident you can track it? Warlocks. Are you still confident you can track it?
Yes. A few more data points and we'll have the beast cornered.